Hey everyone, welcome back to the SimTune tutorials. This is episode 5, and we will be talking about the historical trend tool. And just like episode 4, when we were talking about the process model identification tool, formatting of the file is really important, so we're going to start with that. And once it's formatted, then you just need to load it in. And once it's loaded in, then you just need to know kind of your controls of how to maneuver the data. So let's take a look at an example of a formatted file. We've got our time column in the first column, and once again, just use a time or a date time format. In this case, it's not necessary to have the seconds included, as you can see here. And this is a CSV file format once again. And also, we've got a header that specifies what the data is. And in this case, it's going to be used for the legend of the trend. So this is going to be the name of this data here, and this is the name of this data here. As you can see, we also have some bad data. SimTune has some built-in features to try and clean that up. So in this case, these would go to 0. But if you're having issues loading in data, that's one of the first things to take a look at. I guess after formatting, if you're pretty sure the formatting is right, also check out your data, make sure that you don't have any bad data in there. So let's also go over to the user manual, and I've already looked up the historical trend section, and if you just come down to the trend data file, that's what we were just looking at, and so there's more information about how to configure that. But then let's also talk about the tag details file. You don't need a tag details file, but what it does is it links to each of these tags in the header, and it gives more information for the legend. So it provides a description, it provides units, and it also provides a min and max. If you don't provide this, it'll still load in just fine. It'll just provide, for example, a default description, or it will try to calculate a min and max range. So if you want to be specific, you can prepare a tag details file, and it's got information on how to do that here. Let's go over to SimTune and load in a file really quick. Once you get there by going to the Tools drop down, click Trend Recorded Data, and you click Browse for the trend file, and we've got our trend example here. And if we go back, I'll just show you this is the trend data that I loaded in, and it actually found the tag details file automatically. If you don't put it in the right spot for it to know where to pick it, you can also specify one manually, or like I said before, you don't need to load one in. But since I loaded it in, I've got my descriptions with my tag names, I've got specified mins and maxes, and I've got my engineering units. And as you can see, it loaded in pretty well. We've got some controls here. We've got this slider at the top, and as I'm moving it around, you can probably notice that the values here are changing, and that's because I am specifying where I want to know what the data is. We can also zoom in with these sliders here, and you can also zoom in using these buttons here. You can scroll around your data if you've zoomed in. And you can also skip to one side or skip to the other, and you can refresh. You can also change your ranges here. You can also change visibilities. Let's say we want to just target a couple. You can do that. You can also you can highlight a tag. So that is the historical trend tool in a nutshell. In fact, those are pretty basic, like there's not much more to it than that, but it is something that has saved me a lot of time. So I don't need to configure plots in Excel anymore. I can just throw the data into here and take a look with these controls. So hopefully you enjoy this tool as well. Hopefully it saves you some time, and hopefully this video is helpful in showing you how to use the tool. So this is actually the last episode in that group of overviews of SimTune. In our next YouTube videos that we'll release, I think there'll be more of demonstrations of PID tuning with SimTune to show you how we use it, and also a few more cool features that are pretty helpful with not just SimTune, but PID tuning in general. So we're going to kind of start, now that we've gone over SimTune, we'll start getting into PID tuning. So hopefully these videos were helpful, and we hope you're enjoying SimTune. Stay tuned for the next video that we release. Thanks for watching.